Right, I've come outside into the garage where it's a little bit cold. So I was nominated for a 5 wild camping beginners tips by Daz and Andrew Bewley, the Bewley Brothers. I'll put a link to their channel just below. My first nomination. No one's ever nominated me for anything before. I've had a good think. Tried to think of some. I watched their video. I didn't watch any previous ones. Just to try. There's nothing new under the sun. But so I've tried not to sort of done other ones I've seen, as it were, in terms of tips. Okay, number one. In the army, one of the things they taught me and many others was the 7 P's. Prior, preparation and planning prevents piss poor performance. Something everyone should think of and live by for many things in their lives. All it is just thinking about things to get a plan and have things all come together nicely. Preventing poor performance. That's number one. Number two, wild camping for beginners, whether that be group or solo. If you're going in a group, obviously there's slightly less anxiety as a beginner. If you're in a group with experienced wild campers, or even novice wild campers, with the previous planning in number one, you can get together information between you, or singularly if you're going on your own. And if you're in a group, you can then maybe transition more comfortably into solo wild camping. The 3, don't be afraid of the dark. I did do this one at Halloween. There's nothing in the dark really that's going to hurt you. I know once again it's an anxiety a lot of people have if you're out on your own unsure. Hopefully with number 1, the prior planning and preparation, that should get you into a mindset of not being quite so worried about what's out there. Number 4, just trying to think of things which might apply to, as I say, beginners. Food hygiene and preparation. I've been carrying a little tub of hand gel since long before this COVID started, and I'm sure many of us have in the camping and wild camping community, because it's important to keep your hands clean before you're prepping your food. When you're out in the field, you don't want to be going down with food poisoning or something. Okay, let's call this 4A then, stoves. I don't know, that's up to you. I suppose a small gas stove would be the easiest thing for a novice to practice with. You can do that in your kitchen. You can do that in your garden before going out. There are many millions of videos on YouTube, websites, forums which go over any of these points, but food and hygiene and prep and stoves, there's no shortage of resources to look to find these things to make life easier for yourself. Once you've maybe tried a couple, I favour the alcohol stoves and a wood stove, little twig stove. I don't really use gas at all. I don't use the gel fuels. I don't use hexamine blocks or anything like that. Just sort of twigs and alcohol stoves for me, which is just what I prefer and I enjoy using. Lastly, number 5 would seem an obvious one. Hopefully people do it regardless of whether you're a beginner or experienced wild camper. Leave a plan, let people know, and a rough schedule. When I go off island, when I go to France for a long weekend, I always draw out a little map. So my wife, my kids, the police, if I don't happen to come back on the day that I'm supposed to, will have a rough idea of my intended route. And hopefully if something has gone wrong, they'd be able to find me. So that was the 5 that I could sort of come up with. As I say, people have done it before. I'm sure all these points have been covered. And then the the one which we should all just sort of say at the end of, well, a lot of people do say at the end of their videos, leave no trace. That's it. Hope that's of some use to somebody. Good night.